All right, welcome to another video of Black Swan Revelations. Today we're going to be talking about whether or not I feel the seals, the seven seals in the book of Revelations are actually open or in the process of being open. So what I always like to do is take a look and see what scripture says first of all, and then go from there. So let's just have a quick peek at, let me just share my screen here. Let's go to Revelation 6. Right, so the seven seals. So the seals. I watched the Lamb open the first of the seven seals. Then I heard one of the four living creatures say in a voice like thunder, "Come." I looked, and there before me was a white horse. Its rider held a bow, and he was given a crown, and he rode out as a conqueror bent on conquest. When the Lamb opened the second seal, I heard the second living creature say, "Come." Then another horse came out, a fiery red one. Its rider was given power to take peace from the earth and to make people kill each other. To him was given a large sword. When the Lamb opened the third seal, I heard the third living creature say, "Come." I looked, and there before me was a black horse. Its rider was holding a pair of scales in his hand. Then I heard what sounded like a voice among the four living creatures saying, 2 pounds of wheat for a day's wage, and 6 pounds of barley for a day's wages. And do not damage the oil and the wine. When the Lamb opened the fourth seal, I heard the voice of the fourth living creature say, "Come." And I looked, and there before me was a pale horse. Its rider was named Death, and Hades was following close behind him. They were given the power over a fourth of the earth to kill by the sword, famine, and plague, and by the wild beasts of the earth. And then when he opened the fifth seal, that's as far as I'll go. I'll just go through the five seals. When he opened the fifth seal, I saw under the altar of the souls of those who had been slain because of the word of God and the testimony they had maintained. They called out in a voice, "How long, sovereign Lord, holy and true, until you judge the inhabitants of the earth and avenge our blood?" Then each of them was given a white robe, and they were told to wait just a little longer until the full number of their fellow servants, their brothers and sisters, were killed just as they had been. Might as well read the sixth seal. As I watched, he opened the sixth seal. There was a great earthquake. The sun turned black like sackcloth made of goat hair. The whole moon turned blood red, and the stars in the sky fell to earth as figs drop from a fig tree when shaken by a strong wind. The heavens receded like a scroll being rolled up, and every mountain and island was removed from its place. So those are the first six seals. So let me just go here for a second. Which one is it? This one, I think, right here. So if we have a look here, this is just a chart I just grabbed from the internet. First seal was the white horse. This picture is inaccurate because it has a bow and arrow. In Revelation 6, it clearly says that it's just a bow. We'll talk about that in a second. And then the second seal is the red horse, meaning peace removed from the earth. Third seal, black horse. Fourth seal, pale horse or green horse. Fifth seal, martyrs cry out. Sixth seal, celestial signs. And then the seventh seal, we'll talk about the rapture and what I think about this. I don't agree with some of the scriptures related to this, but that's okay. This is a good reference point to begin. So the first seal, white horse. This is the Antichrist. So the question of the day would be, is the Antichrist around. Now we can guess, like I was taking a wild stab at, whether or not President Zelensky was an Antichrist. Is he the Antichrist, or is he just someone that's just trying to do the best for their country? It's just another politician that's standing up for his country and all this kind of stuff. So I won't talk too much about that, but that's what the first seal is. So if the first seal has been cracked open, then the Antichrist should be around somewhere on in the world. And a lot of people think the Antichrist is coming out of the Middle East. Some people think Europe, like Russia, Ukraine, that kind of thing. Some people think he could quite possibly be an Assyrian. An interesting note, Jews that do not believe in Jesus Christ are looking, they basically have a checklist of what they're looking for when it comes to a Messiah showing up on earth. And one of those things is they need to know, whoever the Messiah is, he needs to know the Torah inside and out. Another thing is he's going to bring peace to the world, and he's going to be basically a leader when it comes to war. He's going to know how to conduct war and win wars. That's who they're ready to follow. And then another thing is he is going to help them build the temple. This is what Jews that do not believe in Jesus Christ being the Messiah, this is part of their checklist that they're waiting for. You just take a look, talk to anybody that doesn't believe that Jesus is the Messiah, and these Jews are still waiting for their Messiah to show up, which figuratively speaking will be on a white horse. That's what they're waiting for. And in Revelation 6, it talks about the first seal being open, which is a rider on the white horse. It looks like Jesus, appears to be the Messiah himself, but it is not the Messiah. It is the Antichrist. So this is what some people believe. Muslims believe that a leader on a white horse will show up. That's why a lot of their leaders own white horses as well. Interesting. It's just interesting. A lot of stuff centers around the white horse. Second seal is the red horse, peace removed. So if I was to take a snapshot around the world, I would say it feels like that the first seal is open. The Antichrist could possibly be around. Now, these seals aren't cracked open, like one's cracked open and then 100 years later, the second seal is open, then the third. We don't know how quick. I would assume, based on how it was written in Revelations, that Jesus opened up the first seal, open up the second seal, third seal, fourth seal, fifth seal, and then it starts to spread out a little bit more. But having said that, I don't know what the time frame is for each seal, but it almost feels like the first 4 or 5 seals are open. That's what it feels like. That's my humble opinion. We don't have the 6th seal because even though there's earthquakes, the sun has to be turned dark and the moon has to be turned red, like blood, basically. And stars are falling, like people are going to get disoriented, all this kind of stuff. So that hasn't happened yet. So I think we could be anywhere from the 1st to 5th seal. Again, this isn't an order, like the first seal has to only be open for a while, and then the second, you can actually crack open the first, second, third, fourth seal. So they could be all open right now as we speak. And because Revelation also talks about birth pains, this could be increasing to the point where it'll get to a point where whoever the Antichrist is, he has to make peace with Israel. They have to sign a peace treaty, and part of that could be the rebuilding of the third temple to help them out. So the question is, when will this happen? Because the temple isn't being built. Now, if you do research online, you'll see that several Jews have said that there are all the elements for the third temple in place. They're just not sure if it's going to be an actual physical temple being built, or is it going to be one made out of tents? Who knows? But the thing is, if it is a tent, back to like what Exodus was, or just after Exodus, with Moses and the Israelites, they had tents that they could fold up, set up, do worship, do sacrifices, I should say, close the tent, move on to the next place. So that could be a possibility as well. But I don't think the sixth seal is opened up. And then, of course, the fifth seal is the martyrs that are crying out that have died because of their faith in Jesus. And they're saying, how much longer? And basically, it has to get to a certain point where Jesus has to come back, because there's too much going on in the world, too much violence, all this kind of stuff. But I'll talk about that in another video. But let's jump to the seventh seal. So Revelation 8, heaven is silent for about a half an hour. We'll go read that a bit. And then Revelation 11, chapter 11, verse 12 says, come up here. This is the verse about the two witnesses that were actually basically preaching and prophesying and witnessing to people, hence the two witnesses. And they end up getting killed, and they're left out in the open for 3.5 days for the whole world to see their dead bodies. Then Jesus basically wakes them up, revives them, brings them back to life, and then says, come up here. So that's what Revelation 11:12 stands for. It's not the rapture. It's just those two witnesses going up to heaven. So that's just kind of my take. So I'm leaning towards the first 4 seals could possibly be open right now. The Antichrist could be in our world right now. We don't know, because once there's a peace treaty signed, once the temple is built, you could basically start your stopwatch. We are legitimately in the end times. Until then, it's pretty open right now as to who the Antichrist is. And I believe that the Antichrist, the person, will not know he is the Antichrist until he sits in the throne of the new temple and sits down and declares himself God. I think the dragon, the devil, will actually enter into him and possess him. And then the Israelites, or then Israel, will actually know. They'll be like, oh man, we messed up big time. This guy is actually desecrating our temple by sitting in our temple and declaring that he is God. And then they flee. They take off out of Israel, because this is where the Antichrist goes nutso, goes after anybody that believes in God, stops the sacrifices at the temple, goes after anybody that tries to worship God. If they don't take the mark of the beast, if they don't worship him, they get executed. We'll talk about that in another video. But those are my thoughts. Let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know what you think in the comments. Let me just open this here. Stop. All right. If you like this type of content, let me know that as well. If there's something else that you would like me to talk about, let me know in the comments. And please, if you're watching this video, subscribe to this channel. Don't forget to subscribe when you're leaving. It just helps me build this channel up. We're almost at 100 subscribers. It's been about a month, so it's growing nicely, I would say. There's a lot of interest right now. People are interested in what's going on, especially in Ukraine and Russia. What's going on? Does this mean the end times? All this kind of stuff. So each week I plan to go a little bit deeper through the Bible, and let's just see if we can uncover the end times together. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in another video. Bye for now.